America got into the business of not winning wars for sure in Vietnam and arguably in Korea. Uh, I'm no expert. These are just my opinions. You guys probably know by now that I pay a lot of attention to what's going on in Ukraine with the Russians and all of that bullshit. And no matter how I feel about funding it, the amount of money that the U.S. funds Ukraine, um, the micromanaging of politicians in the terrible dark art of war has never proven effective in terms of any kind of victory. What it does is it makes people rich that are in the military industrial complex connected to it in any way, whether you're making bullets or you're making the fucking air conditioners for a Humvee, whatever. But this whole uh, ban that we have on weapons sent to Ukraine is just an example of how America has lost its fucking mind, and it gets people killed. It gets in this case, it's getting lots of people killed, lots of Russians and lots of Ukrainians. What are you talking about, Mike? I'm talking about this insane policy of we're going to give you all these artillery shells and all of these missiles and all of this ammunition, but you cannot use it outside of the borders of Ukraine. Who in the hell fights a war like that? Oh, America does. You'll recall that during Vietnam, the Vietnamese and the VC, the North Vietnamese and the VC could be on one side of the Cambodian border and massing their troops and storing their equipment, but our guys couldn't shoot across the border. Yeah, well, I know we did it anyways. I know there were special operations and blah blah blah, and we fought people or killed people in Laos and Cambodia. I get it, but the rules of engagement were insane, just like they were insane in Iraq. If somebody, you can't shoot somebody until they shoot at you. You can't do this until that happens. If they're in this kind of a building, and it looks like it might be a mosque, you can't do this. This is how Americans get killed when they're participating in a war, whether the war is right, wrong, or indifferent. But this Ukraine thing, Russia, Putin makes a lot of threats, and who gives a flying F what Putin threatens? I mean, all he has to do is just say, hey, do this and I'll go nuclear. And everybody's like, oh, God, well, we don't want that to happen. Well, you're not the only one with nukes, little dude, and maybe he's a nutcase and maybe he doesn't care. But you know what? You cannot ever expect a victory from anybody if you put these stupid ass rules of engagement on them. What is Russia doing to capitalize on our stupidity, our woke ass leftist controlled government? What are they doing? They've got ammunition storage facilities right on the other side of the border. They can mass their equipment, mass all their logistical, their supply chain, can bring it right up to the borders. They can locate aircraft much closer to the combat theater than they would if Ukraine was allowed to defend itself properly. That's like saying if your neighbor is in a massive gun battle with you, but all his ammunition and food and his extra troops and his vehicles are in his neighbor's house on the other side, you can't touch that house. Well, that's not how you win. You blow that other house off the freaking face of the earth, and now the guys in your neighbor's house, your neighbor's little military, they don't have any fucking any supply line coming to them. So you drive the enemy back away from the borders. So I don't believe for a second that anybody seriously expects or wants Ukraine to win anything. Because if they did, they would take the gloves off, man. If I give you a stack of bombs because you're my friend and you're in war, you do with them whatever you see fit. You use them the way that your military leadership sees fit. Putting rules like that on a foreign military is embarrassing. But it shouldn't surprise us because we have so many fucked up rules in our own military when we're in combat. Our guys. Um, yeah, it just drives me nuts, and I thought I'd share it with you.